because he got away with his life. If you haven't seen the video, go look at it. It could have easily ended it for him early in that. So the Rockets and the Clippers, they have I guess not renewed the beef, if you will, but Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, it was rumored they weren't getting along, and Chris Paul comes back to LA and things go off. People, trying to see people, and Blake and Trevor Ariza got into it. So we already know all that. So all the stuff goes on, and the suspensions have been handed out. Now, Trevor Ariza and Gerald Green, they got 2 games. Basically what they're saying that these brothers did is that because they were the aggressors and they were the people that was initiating it way beyond what it needed to be by they certainly went to the locker room to try and holler at Austin Rivers, and I think Blake Griffin as well, but it got way out of hand, and then they're just saying they took it off the court. If it had just been left on the court, maybe some guys would have got fines or anything like that, but Ariza and Green was the aggressors, on this. So they get 2 games. Now, nobody on the Clippers got any suspensions. I don't even know if they got fines. You got kicked out. Maybe you get a fine for getting kicked out, for ejected, but, they got kicked out. So should they have gotten any other penalty or any other punishment, beyond what they got? And I'm going to say no. Again, they were on the court. They were chomping at each other and saying everything that they wanted to say to each other. People got in between. This is how the NBA is, and this is how it goes, or whatever. It wasn't like Blake, kind of like Ben Simmons. It wasn't like Blake told, Trevor, meet me in the hallway or something like that. It was just kind of like, hey, we talked about it. We went at each other about it, and now it's over. And we'll see him when we see him. If it's something else that we need to bring up again or handle again, then we'll handle it at that point. So I was going to say, earlier that, some Clippers, should have got some suspensions or something like that. But then, I sat back and I said, well, what did they really do that warranted? And I'm looking and I'm like, okay, on the court, we've seen that before. Nothing, major. It wasn't like he, swung on them or anything like that. They did say Blake, got into a little bit with Mike D'Antoni and pushed him a little bit, but they didn't give him anything. Now, maybe something like that. Maybe you could have gave him, a game, for that, but they didn't say it was just over the line, But Austin Rivers, he was in a boot and he was talking. What could he have really done other than run his mouth at this point? So I think they did. I think they got it right. They said that Chris and James Harden, all of them, they weren't in it. They were just trying to, calm down, Trevor Ariza and everything. And they were really there trying to be peacemakers. So it's 2 games that they're going to have to serve. Got one coming up. I think the second one will be over the weekend. So I think they got another game Saturday. I think he served one yesterday, and then you got one tomorrow. So those 2 games will be up pretty soon. He'll be back out. But we will be watching the next game because they play next month in February. I think February 28th. I might be wrong on the actual date, but it is February. And these two teams will be going at it again. But here's the good thing, about it is that I don't have a problem with, if they don't like each other or going at each other on the court or get a little chippy and all that. That's just basketball, as long as they don't get disrespectful and all that stuff. It's basketball. At the end of the day, hey, both teams play hard, in the illustrious words of Rasheed Wallace. But the one good thing from this whole situation that came about that usually don't get reported is that Ariza and Austin Rivers actually had a conversation with each other after that whole situation went down just a few days ago. Now, Denzel Harrell, if I'm saying his name right, he is the person that was kind of like the connection between the two because he used to play for Houston, but he plays for the Clippers now. But he got Trevor Ariza and Austin Rivers on the phone. That's what was reported. And that these 2 guys talked for 35 minutes, and hashed it out. Now, the good thing about if a 35-minute call, let's just be honest, fellas, the fellas in the chat room, you already know It's different for us than the ladies. I'm just it is. It just is. I bet that conversation, as far as like them having their issues with each other, was probably all of 5 minutes, and the other 30 minutes were basically talking about how they gonna get up or they gonna do this or whatever, or start talking about NBA 2K, and all that stuff. So I just think it's a good thing, because we don't need that type of situation. I mean, people were calling the cops. I already said that they called the cops. Are you serious? Called the cops. And I told y'all, I said, it wasn't like it was the Crips and Bloods or something like that. Yes, it was some guys in there, that big gentlemen, that can, probably do bodily harm to each other. But nah, it wasn't going to go down like that. I really didn't believe it was going to go down like that. But the good thing is they hashed it out, but that's it. They hashed it out. It's over. Now, check this out. Check this out. When they see each other again, then the game is going to be on. And it's probably maybe chippy and all that stuff. So Big L said in the chat room, I don't talk to no dude for 30 minutes. That's some chick mess. So I just said, look, they hashed it out 5 minutes. I'm sure that conversation was done. And then they started talking about something else, man. They probably were talking about women, or families or something like that. But the good thing is it's over. It is over. Denise Milk and Cookie said they shot the breeze for 35 minutes. Yeah, because we not fellas. We just gonna get to the point. Hey, bruh, this is what it is, bruh. All right, I hear you, but this is what it is. Okay, bruh, but let me tell you something. Okay, I feel you. Oh, okay, I understand. And both sides, then they're gonna be like, oh, we good? Yeah, we good. Easy peasy and move on. And then they start talking about what really matters. Money and all this stuff, whatever else that NBA players that talk about. So it's not going to be as hyped of a beef, but I will be interested in watching that next game just to see how they go at each other. And I still think it'll be a little bit chippy, if you will, at this point. So we're going to take a break at this moment, and then we will come back. Get into a little bit of football news. I was talking about the Piss Man earlier, so I just got a question for the chat room, about the Piss Man, which I really don't understand, some of the things that they do in the NFL. So we'll talk about that in just a moment after these few words.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Vince Wright, the sports governor, and you know me from the Sports Done Right show. But when I'm not doing Sports Done Right, I'm in the executive mansion chilling with the Wait a Minute show. That's right, Jelani, Lopan, indeed. Keep it tuned here, y'all. The Wait a Minute show. My name is Vince Wright, and I approve this message.
Yo, this is your boy Keith C from the
Kicking It with Keith C show.
When I want to jam, I'm jamming with Queen Josie and DJ New as they're kicking those vibes.
Don't be a crook who steals. Buy what you need at DougieDeals.com.
We don't take orders from super fools. We give them.
X gon' give it to you.
Any and all resistance will crumble. Nonsense. There's never been a threat.
Squad.
Couldn't handle. It is the purpose of the
Squad.
to align our infamous forces against the powers of good and defeat them, leaving us, the rulers of the world.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you are listening to
It's the Wait a Minute show
with your man Jelani JB Bodie and my co-host, who's actually doing some work this week, Lopan. Indeed. And we are back, and we're going to talk about the Piss Man. But before we go into that, because I know it's probably going to jump off here in just a second. I told Fish that we will be doing, a call-in part. So at this point, if you want to call in, you can call in, because I saw you were asking, can I call in? So we will take his call. Shouts out to Holly Newsom. I missed her name last show on Wednesday. I meant to say her name when I was signing off. So, because Holly pointed out something. She said that Jelani is a lover, not a fighter. Yeah, that's right. I love him. I love him to death. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the other show. So yes, Mo Cheese, I am saying piss man, the piss man. So what I'm talking about is Minnesota Viking cornerback Terrence Newsom. He has been selected. This is his third time in a little bit over a month that he's been selected for and I wish you could see me, quote unquote, a random drug test. And it just brings up the question, how random is this thing? You got someone 3 times, you have almost 1,700 players on the active roster. We're just talking about active roster, 53-man active roster. And, those get switched out because people get hurt, and all that stuff. But you got almost 1,700 guys, and you have one guy that got selected 3 times in a little bit over a month. That doesn't make any sense. Now, Terrence Newman, he is 39 years old. He is defying the odds of, father time and playing in the NFL. He's on IR right now with a foot injury, but that doesn't matter. He played the game. He's on an active roster, and the league, to me, it feels like the league is looking at him and trying to figure out, let's just make sure, nothing funny is going on, because you can't tell me that if you got 1,700 players, one person can be selected 3 times in less than 45 days. That doesn't make any sense to me. To me, what I would like for them to do, and this is just, me in my brain, if you get a drug test, and James Harrison, let me go back before I say that, because James Harrison also felt like he was being targeted because he'd say something, in the media, then all of a sudden the piss man show up, then he getting, visited multiple times. And I've heard, other reports of other players getting it multiple times, and what I think they should do is if you get visited by the piss man and the random drug test, I shouldn't say piss man, the random drug test person, I think they should at least take your name out of the loop for 3 months. I mean, just maybe a max of 3 months. Because it doesn't make any sense for you to hit somebody up like that. And it opens up the whole conspiracy. Because what if this happens to somebody else? Now, they may not touch this because then it will open up a big can of stuff that they don't want. But what if this was like Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, Drew Brees, one of the big names, out there. And they're getting hit up 3 times. That's ridiculous. There's a problem or issue, with this. Now, if you got just Terrence Newman and this hadn't happened in 4 or 5 years or something, I'd be like, all right, lightning struck twice, But 3 times? Lightning struck 3 times on Terrence Newman. And he's probably just thinking like, I don't got time for this, man. They left him a little note on his seat and basically said, you need to get down here with your government ID or something and give us this sample that we need. And if you cannot provide an adequate sample, contact us. What are you gonna say? Man, I just can't, it ain't gonna come out. And then they're gonna say, well, how about we reschedule? No. You just need to just go ahead and get down there and get it over with. But to me, it's a joke. It's a joke. Mo Cheese is saying, Jelani playing devil's advocate. My uncle has hit the same lottery numbers multiple times during the course of a month. I need to talk to your uncle, Mo Cheese, so I can drop some numbers too. Tell him share that wealth. Share that, not share that girl, like Jay-Z say, share that wealth, share them numbers, But hey, that's a good thing. Now, Mo Cheese, if your uncle got an inside line or whatever, then, hit me up, the Wait a Minute Show at gmail.com, because I want in on that, But if I get in trouble, I'm I'm telling it all. Your uncle